Okay, just a few things I didn't say last time about eggs, just totally forgot about it. So a few words. Eggs, first of all, we need to understand that eggs, they produce mucus, and for example, in the Kremlin, people used eggs because they knew that it's the strongest glue, eggs. So you can imagine what is happening when you eat an egg. Eggs contains, how to say, opposite calorific capacity with minus. So, for example, you eat an egg, there are some calories, but your body will use more energy just to digest this egg. So instead of getting energy, you will lose energy. And also protein from eggs, our body cannot absorb this protein. But need to say that eggs can be good when we have some vitamin problems, and if you don't have B12 and you become very, not smoothly but very quickly, a vegan or a vegetarian, especially vegan, you can find vitamins in eggs. So just 1-2 eggs and it will last for a long time. Yeah, this is the thing that you should know about eggs. Next topic, it's vegetable food, about vegetables, fruits, cereals, juice, honey also. So first of all, we need to say that the main food in nowadays, it's vegetables and fruits. Anyway, people eat meat, but not so much as vegetables. But vegetables, they mostly cooked, baked, roasted, fried, whatever. And also they were how to say, cooked with chemicals. For example, flour. Flour, it's what we eat with bread. It's absolutely chemical thing, because if you put flour from the bakery, it will last for many years. Even your children will take this flour and bake bread. Also white flour, it becomes white because of chemicals. Need to say also that main ingredients for food industry, it's soya, corn and wheat. And need to understand that they need a lot of these products. That's why 90% of this food, it's GMO. So soy milk that we drink, I'm sure it's modified genetically, so GMO. But need also to understand what is GMO. I don't know if you know what it is, what the effect. For example, for monks it's okay, drink and eat GMO food, because the harm is that for you is nothing, you're fine, you can eat any amount of GMO food. For your children also is fine, but for your grandchildren, they won't have children anymore. So it's genocide. It's what Hitler did with Jews. He killed them. Yeah, exactly. So it's a new technology of our age, just to have less people. So need to think wheat, soya and corn. And for example, also what food industry and chemical industry do with these ingredients. Coca-Cola is the example. What is the basic thing for Coca-Cola? It's corn. So what they had to do with corn to have cola? It's extremely amount of chemical processes. So next thing to know is that any cooking processes with vegetables or fruits, it leads to destroying of fiber. And instead of fiber, when we cook vegetable, for example a carrot, instead of fiber we will get mucus with this vegetable. But need to understand that all vegetables, they contains different amount of starch. You know starch? Yeah, so different. For example, if you eat 1 kilo of potatoes, cooked potatoes, you will get 1 kilo of mucus. If you eat 1 kilo of cooked carrots, for example, it will be different, much less than from potatoes. So this one. And if we eat raw vegetables, it contains fiber, rife fiber mostly in vegetables. It stimulates our digestive system, and you go to the toilet after this. So somehow it's scrape our bowels with this rough fiber and stimulate. And it leads to cleaning of our bowels. And if we clean our bowels, we clean all our body, because all the how clean our body is, it depends on our bowels. Clean your bowels, you clean your body. And yeah, about this mucus from vegetables, need to understand that this mucus absolutely different from animal product mucus, because from vegetables mucus is more liquid, and if you drink more water, more liquid, any liquid, it becomes even more liquid, and it's easier to get rid of this liquid. Yeah, the difference also need to understand between animal products and vegetables, that vegetables and fruits, vegetable food, they almost doesn't contain any toxins. You get only slugs with cooked food. I mean, you know slugs, yeah? Mucus, it's a slag. Salt in your joints, for example, it's a slag. Yep. So slags. And need to understand also that all vegetables and fruits, they contain acid that make them tasty. All the vegetables and fruits, they have their own flavor, their own taste, because of acid. And when you cook or use some temperature above 42 degrees, that for our body it's also like we will if it's more than 42. If you use temperature with vegetables and fruits, these acids, they become salt, and you cannot anyway, so it's a kind of solid that it's very difficult to get rid of. Sorry? Soluble. I think so, yeah. And where it goes to bones, joints, muscles. Our body gets rid of them every day, but very little amount of this salt. And of course we eat a lot of cooked food, cooked vegetable food. That's why our processes of making our body dirty more intensive than cleaning processes. Yeah. Then I'll say about mucus, a few words about mucus. Any questions about salt, this kind of salt? Okay, so mucus, it's as I said, and so the main parts of our body where our body collects this mucus is bowels. Then if it after bowels, our how to say, walls of our bowel, they take this mucus and it goes to under our skin and it becomes fat. It is mucus. It is garbage in our body. Also, it goes to our lungs, our bronchs. For example, if you have cough, it's mucus is coming out. And yeah, skin and genitalis. Yeah. And need to say also that our body somehow has got used to this, to absorb some vitamins and all that we need from cooked food, because we have been eating cooked food most of our life, most of the time. And our ferments need to understand that when you eat raw food and cooked food, our body secrete different ferments, different ferments. That's why when you change your diet, for example, from cooked food to raw food, your body has got used to different food, different ferments. That's why when you eat raw food, your body is not ready to produce these ferments. You need to keep some amount of cooked food, at least for some time, to get used to raw food. Otherwise, you will have lack of vitamins and all things that you need. Enzymes, ferments, yeah. Different ferments for cooked food, cooked vegetables, and for raw vegetables. It's different. You need to understand this. And the process to get used to this, it takes time. It's not immediately. It takes, for some people, months, for some people, years. So just need to understand this. Okay, then we will talk about groups of vegetable food, and we will start from cereals. Cereals, it's the main group of food that we eat nowadays. It contains seeds, nuts, grains, and so on. Need to understand that people don't have ferments to digest cereals. We are not birds, we are human beings. The only way that our bodies can absorb anything from this food, absorb something, it's the way of temperature, cooked food, and also mechanical work. So for example, a blender or teeth. You need to get liquid from this. With grains, we get less mucus when we eat it raw, sprouted, for example, than cooked. Need also to understand. Even from sprout cereals, we get some mucus, but less than with cooked. And also talking about nuts, it's quite important. Many people, when they change their diet, they start eating a lot of nuts, like a kilo of nuts, just raw, the way it is. And they feel quite full, they are fine. But with this amount of nuts, they didn't get anything, just maybe 1% of vitamins or that they could get from these nuts. We don't have ferments, that I said, to absorb anything. To get something, you need to soak nuts first of all, and then destroy it mechanically. For this, we can use a blender and to have kind of porridge, or you need to chew very, very carefully, like a lot of time. Only after this you will absorb from these nuts, especially fat. And talking about nuts, also nut contains a lot of fat that lead to cleaning of liver. All the fat that we get, olive oil, any kind of oil, there is actually no difference between oils, olive oil, sesame oil, or whatever, because our body cannot absorb, cannot digest anything, take anything from oils. Of course, there are some exclusions with some people who can take something, can absorb, but mostly oil, the purpose of oil is to clean our liver. If you drink some oil, you will start your processes of cleaning liver. So nuts, it's also they help with it to clean liver. Also, cereals contains a lot of protein. Not a lot, but with comparison with beans, but also quite a lot of proteins. So at the beginning, when you change your diet, for example, they will help you. And a few things also about sesame seeds. Sesame seeds, the way how to eat them. It's not necessary to soak them. You need to destroy them mechanically, like in coffee grainer. And after, you can eat, or it's also good to soak for half an hour in already destroyed way. Sesame contains a lot of calcium that we all need. Here one interesting thing, that when we eat cooked food, it's mostly acidic, and our body needs something alkaline. Alkaline. So to make our body alkaline, our bones, they use its own calcium to make it alkaline. So when you eat cooked food, your body this time uses its own calcium. And in this case, you need some calcium from outside, like sesame seeds. So destroy them mechanically, soak for half an hour, put them anywhere, like porridge, smoothie, salad, whatever, and you get your calcium. Flax seeds, you know that it contains a lot of omega-3, omega-6, and a lot of fat. Also the same way as with sesame oil, destroy it mechanically, soak, and then eat. But need to understand here that if you destroy mechanically, for example in a coffee grounder a day before, next day it will become acidic because of oxygen. Somehow there are some processes. So you need to prepare flax seeds just before your meal, because you can see in the healthy stores they sell flax seeds already, like flour flax seeds, useless, already acidic. One thing, that until you have appetite to these products, like flax seeds or sesame seeds, eat this. I remember when I changed my diet, I ate flax seeds and sesame seeds, like one day sesame seeds, one day flax seeds, for half a year or for a year, because I had appetite. It's a sign that your body needs at this time this product, this vitamins like calcium or whatever. But after a year, I lost my appetite to this product. Just, was enough.
What's appetite?
Appetite? When you want to eat this. Desire, yeah. Also, buckwheat, it's also cereals, you know. Okay, next one, it's beans. What is beans? Peanut, it's not a nut, it's a bean, by the way. So peanuts, mung dal, for example, what else? Soya, peas and some others, I don't know in English. And the main thing that it contains a lot of protein. And as you know, it's not good. More protein, then worse for our body. Because it's toxic. It's not as toxic as animal products, but it's a little bit but toxic. And yeah, compare cereals and beans. For beans we have ferments, enzymes. Sorry? Enzymes, yeah. Enzymes to digest, to absorb anything that we need from beans. This is difference. And it's not necessary to chew very carefully the beans, like if we compare with cereals. So, and need to understand this, that beans, it's if for example if we go slowly to fruit diet, that it's just temporary food like beans, until our body is still needs something from outside. Then with sometime later your body will start producing your own vitamins, your own stuff that you need, and you will be less dependent on food. Okay, next thing. It's done with beans. Not much to say. Next, it's fruits and vegetables. Here, the main question and the thing that need to understand: what is the difference between fruits and vegetables? Okay, fruits. It's something that grow for not for a plant or for a tree, for somebody, for someone else. A vegetable, it's a root, it's a stalk, it's leaves. That's it. If we say about tomatoes, it's a fruit, it's not a vegetable. Pumpkin, it's a fruit, and etc. And functions of vegetables and fruits are different. Also, one thing, it's about the law of nature, that nature somehow spent as less energy as possible. If you look at ants, they go straight. They don't do like these paths. But so everything just uses less energy as possible. But if you look at fruits, it's exclusion. The main purpose of fruits is just to have more trees, to have more plants, etc. This purpose. But if we look at the percentage of seeds, how much mass of seeds in a fruit and pulp, it's incredible. For example, a watermelon, how much mass of seeds, just a few grams, and the pulp and water, it's a huge amount. So it's just one more proof that fruits somehow it's food. The purpose also, it's food, not only for spreading seeds around. So functions of fruits and vegetables are different, need to understand. Fruits, it's to give us nutrition, give us energy. And vegetables, it's for cleaning. I'm talking about raw now, raw fruit and vegetables. That's why when I see raw salad with tomatoes and carrots, you know what is happening. You eat carrots and tomatoes together, for example. And your tomatoes, instead of stay in your stomach for some time, and your body will take all the vitamins that it can take at this moment, it go faster because carrots with a tough rough fiber, it stimulates your bowels and it goes through your bowels. It's better to separate. Maybe somebody saw that I eat raw salad in the evening with carrots, beetroot, apples and prunes. I eat fruit, an apple with carrots, vegetable. Why? The purpose is that apples, fruits in general, there are some chemical processes with mucus. It becomes soft and somehow separate from bowels. And with vegetables, I scrape this mucus and it goes away. This is the purpose. I eat apples with vegetables not to get nutrition. I eat it just for cleaning. So we need to understand different purposes. Our body cannot absorb anything from raw vegetables except what we can get from chewing. When we chew, for example, a carrot, we got some juice from carrot. This our body absorb. The rest it just go through and cleans. That's it. But one more thing that, as I said last lesson, that we have microflora that actually eat fiber. So there is some food for our microflora. So it's necessary to eat also. Yeah, it's interesting that we don't cook fruits. Mostly we don't. We eat them raw. Like tomatoes, for example, cucumbers. People don't cook them, but they cook vegetables. The thing is that when you cook vegetables, this rough fiber, that vegetable that are not somehow they edible, but our body cannot absorb anything. This rough fiber becomes first of all mucus, and after that there are some nutritions. It becomes nutritions. For example, if you cook a carrot, it becomes more sweeter. So with cooking processes, you will get nutritions. It's different again purposes. Raw vegetables for cleaning, cooked vegetables for getting nutritions, but with mucus. So as I said also that raw vegetables, they stimulate bowels, and so you go to the toilet and you clean your bowels from mucus. Here also need to say that raw vegetable food becomes healthy and natural for a person only when your bowels are clean from mucus. And this is the problems with vegans. When they change their diet, they mostly eat cooked food. So they don't get vitamins from animal products anymore, but they eat cooked food. They get mucus, they have lack of vitamins, and there are 3 ways that can solve this problem. The first one, you start make your diet healthier, so you eat vegetable food, cooked food, but also raw food. You clean your body. The second option, it's vegans. They stop this diet, they come back to animal products. And the third option, they go to the doctor and doctor give them vitamins that sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. So the first option is, as you see, is more natural. And to recover our microflora, there are 2 conditions. It's to have clean bowels from mucus, and the second, it's to give enough nutrition to our microflora. Only in this condition we have healthy microflora, that can survive and live with the raw food. So the main thing that you need to understand that first we need to clean our bowels to recover our microflora if we want to live healthy. If you stop eating, animal products. And a few things when you stop eating animal products, people can say, you eat vegetables, fruits, but they also with chemicals. What's the sense? Yes, unfortunately, yes, there are some chemicals nowadays. But even with comparison with animal products, it's better somehow than animal products. It contains less chemicals, and it's better for our body. And of course, if you have your own garden, it's even much more better. And if a fruit or a vegetable somehow survived, so it's a sign that somehow you eat and you will survive. Next one is juice. Also need to say a few words about it. Need to understand with juice that it's absolutely different from basic vegetables and fruit that we eat. For example, carrot juice and carrots, it's different. A carrot for cleaning, but carrot juice, it's for you get nutrition from this. So what is happening? Also need to say with fruits and vegetables, when we put them in a juicer, the fiber destroys completely, and you have juice that full of nutrients. And if, for example, we take raw vegetables and fruits, if for your body needs some time to get used to absorb something from these fruits or vegetables. For juice, anybody, even people who eat meat, they absorb everything from this juice. For example, there is a glass of juice from 10 apples. So you drink juice, you will get all the vitamins, all the nutrition from 10 apples. And if you eat 10 apples and your body is not ready yet, you eat 10 apples, you will get just a little bit. This is the difference. So when we change our diet, it's important to give opportunity for our body, to train our body to absorb nutrients from fruits and vegetables, but at the same time we give already some vitamins, nutrients from juice. Yeah, so there is a high concentration of all vitamins in juice, and it digests much faster than a vegetable or a fruit. Actually, for juice, our body doesn't spend almost any energy and doesn't use ferments to digest juice, because it goes directly. Somehow there are some processes, I don't know how to explain, but we don't need ferments for juice in comparison with the raw fruits and vegetables. That's why we can, if we talk about fruits, it's better not to mix fruits. If, for example, oranges with bananas or apples with carrots, no, don't mix. But juice, your body doesn't use ferments. You can mix any juice. And there is a book, I remember only surname, Walker. He invented a juice machine, a juicer, He was the person who invented. And he wrote a book about juice, and there are a lot of recipes, mix of juices. There can be a question: what kind of juices, and how much juice I can drink. Any amount of juice, any kind of juice. Listen to your body. Some experts can say you can drink only 1 liter a day, half a liter a day. So leave this advice for these experts. You have your own body. Listen to your body. Of course, if you drink beetroot juice, it's very powerful juice, or green juice. You will feel dizzy. You can feel dizzy. So you need to find amount of juice that is fine for you, that is not so intensive, because green juice and especially beetroot juice, they start cleaning processes. You feel dizzy and want to puke, so you need to find your amount of juice. Also talking about green juice, again, need to understand that greens, like herbs, leaves, it's a vegetable. It's for cleaning. And juice from greens, it's different. First of all, it gives nutrition. And the second one, it starts, there is Rosamacha in 3x, you know? People X, you know, people, human X. There was Rosamacha with metal things, you know? Yeah. What function did he? Yeah, X-Men. Exactly. What function did he have? For example, he couldn't die. Why? How is it called? Because he's a reproductive functional. Regeneration, exactly. So, juice from greens, herbs, and all the green stuff, it started this process. Quite interesting and important to know. And it's extremely powerful juice. It starts cleaning. So, and appetite, again, it's a sign. Listen to your body. If you have appetite for some juice, listen to it. Drink as much as you can. Not as much as you can, but as you think it's right thing to do. And it almost doesn't, not almost, but it doesn't overload your pancreas, yeah, and liver. You know pancreas, yeah, and liver, because it contains glucose, not fructose, yeah, fructose. And the last one is honey. Honey, it's difficult topics because, for example, when Rotarians and vegans come together, meet together, somehow they walk along to one path, that they don't kill animals and etc., etc. But when they start talking about honey, there is a conflict. I see personally, and this doctor, naturopathic doctor, also respect honey products very much. If you look at cows, for example, cows produce milk for their children, for calves. But if you look at bees, they produce honey not only for themselves, they produce extra honey, and not only human beings, or not only people eat honey, also bears, I don't know, someone else, maybe some animals also. So, and if I look in some food factories, mostly people, when they see the processes, how the food is created, they don't eat this food anymore, because they see how it was prepared. With honey, it's opposite. And beekeepers are extremely healthy. They all healthy. It's also a sign. Also need to say a few words about honey, that the same as juice, honey contains a lot of energy. And there is a huge need for most of the people to start cleaning processes to get rid of some mucus and toxins, but there is no energy. And but there is always need. And honey and juice can start these processes. And some people, they eat honey, and next day they got a flu, they have got cold, and they think, oh, I shouldn't have eaten honey, now I'm ill. Just because you started the process of cleaning, you got energy. So it's a huge concentration of energy. And also honey, easy to digest, also doesn't load pancreas and liver. And the same with as with juice, can mix with anything. Can put in a smoothie, salad, anything. Also need to say about honey that if you heat honey above 42 degrees, it loses the vitamins. And if you heat, I don't remember, above than 60 or 70 degrees, it becomes poison. The same as palm oil, similar. Like it will be in your body.
So when we boil the water, for example, to make a tea, it's okay to put a spoon or
No.
in that one?
No.
That is poison?
Yes. My grandmother and mostly I think grandmothers, they taught.
The whole world does that.
Exactly. But ask beekeepers.
I just done that this morning.
So it's a mistake.
No poison.
I mean, you won't die from this, but it's like with once again, like I will tell about with an experiment with a frog. If you put a frog into a boiled water, it will jump away. If you put a frog into a cold water and start heating the water, the frog will die. It won't notice that it is dying. The same with all the poison, toxins, and etc. that we get from food. You don't notice because you don't see the difference. Yeah. And one more thing about honey again, the question, how much honey should I eat, when, etc., etc. Again, no limits about honey. Some people again will say, oh no, don't eat more than 100 grams of honey. So leave this recommendation for them. You again need to find your amount of honey that you feel fine, because again it doesn't overload your pancreas and liver. And when you change your diet, I remember I ate like 3 kilos maybe honey a month or maybe more. You start eating a lot of honey, you need energy. You change your diet. Also interesting thing that when you change your diet to a healthier diet, start eating more raw food, you have less energy. And to get this energy at the beginning, you can drink juice, you can eat honey, but it's temporary. You need to understand. You are teaching your organism, your body, to produce pheromones, to absorb vitamins and all that you need from raw vegetables and raw foods. From raw fruits, vegetables for cleaning. Yeah. So find your own amount of honey. And there are many people who has allergy to honey. And what they need to do is just to find their amount of honey that they feel. Processes of cleaning. Allergy, it's a process of cleaning. They need to find a balance again. If they eat a teaspoon of honey and they feel horrible, so they should eat like a quarter of a teaspoon or maybe even less, but still keep going with these processes. Sooner or later they get rid of this. There are many examples of this, of people. That's all about vegetable food. And I would like also to answer some questions that people asked this naturopathic doctor. The first question was why people don't eat meat of predators like wolves or whatever. Just because, for example, a cow eats vegetables, we eat cow. But a wolf eats meat. Meat goes to a wolf, it becomes toxic for him also. And if you look at the nature, if you think that predators eat meat every day, no, it's not. Sometimes they eat once a week, sometimes they eat twice a month. But most of the time, they also do cleaning processes. They sleep. Look at the cat, they sleep 20 hours a day. It's cleaning. It's the way for them of cleaning. They also fast. They eat greens that also clean their body. They do all these things. And their bowels, they're shorter with comparison with ours. So it go faster through them, but anyway they get some toxins. Yeah. So, and if we eat predators, we get twice more toxins even if we eat cows, for example. There was a question that are children clean? For example, children are born and they, for example, haven't eaten meat before. Are they clean? No, they aren't. Because a mother, she gives everything what she contains in her body to this child. And this child contains of her body. So it's already not clean. And there were some people who just wrote that there are some examples. For example, a French woman who died at the age of 123, and he drank wine, he smoked, he ate chocolate every day, and she saw this way of happiness. And she died at the age of 123. And there are some more examples. And what is this example for? It's just we also need to start drinking, smoking, eating chocolate every day. No, probably if she hadn't smoked, drunk and eaten chocolate, probably she would have lived more than this. All the people, they have different resources of energy from the beginning. Some people more, some people less. Some people have more extensive processes of cleaning. We are all different in this case. So for her it worked, for you won't. But example that I see interesting, there is, maybe some of you knows, a tribe Hunza, people Hunza, you know, who live until like 150, average age 140, 150, 60. What to say about them? There are 3 seasons in their life. First season, when they grow mostly apricots, and they eat mostly apricots and greens, herbs. So when they have this, they eat. It's about 3 months. Next season, when there are no fresh food, they eat dried apricot, they soaked them, drink this water, greens again. Second season. And the third season, they have nothing. They fast for 2-3 months. They eat nothing, only drink water. And they work very, very hard. They run to different villages, many kilometers. There is no crime. They are, according to some researchers, the most happiest people in the world. And they old people, like at the age of 100, they look like teenagers or there is almost no difference. This is example that of processes of cleaning more intensive than processes of making body dirty. Yeah. There was one more thing I don't know how to to say about it, but one person also said that I think we should eat meat because we eat in a cold country, so we have to eat meat. And according to our also philosophy, Ananda Marga, that if you live in cold country, eating meat, it's not tamasic, it's rajasic. But if there is an opportunity for you to live in any place in the world, what place would you choose? Probably it's not a cold country, Siberia or something like this. You will choose a hot country or warm country. And but the thing is, also talking about Hunza, that people who live in somehow cold countries, they more spiritual developed somehow, and there are conditions for them to fast, to do ascesa, you know ascesa, ascesis, ascetic, asceticism. Yes. So do all this stuff. It's just conditions. In hot countries, it's quite difficult to even to work, to think. So then colder you live, then more conditions for you to eat less and to grow spiritually more. That's all what I wanted to say today.